Hey man, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. What is the best overall single credit card? If we looked in the credit card yearbook, which credit card is going to get that best all-around senior superlative? Now, at least once every year, I do a big video talking about the best credit cards on the market, but I tend to structure that video with the idea that you are going to hold multiple credit cards. In this video, we are going to be talking to a person that only wants to hold one credit card and have it be sort of the Swiss Army knife that does as much as possible in as many ways as possible for you to maximize rewards, not pay extra fees, all of that kind of stuff. Now I'm going to structure this as a little countdown with a top 10 going from 10 to 1, and then we'll do some honorable mentions after that. All right, let's start with number 10, and that is the Amazon Prime Visa. Assuming you are a paid Prime member, you're going to get 5% back on your Amazon and Whole Foods purchases. You're going to get 2% back on your gas station purchases, your restaurant purchases, your local transit and commuting, 1 point per dollar or 1% back on everything else. If you book travel through Chase's travel portal, you will get 5% on that as well. The points or cash back that you earn, you can take as straight cash back. Most people probably more likely just take those points and use them to buy more stuff from Amazon in the future. And if you are someone that already buys a lot from Amazon, that will probably make you happy. The card has no foreign transaction fees, so you're not going to pay anything extra if you use it outside of the US. Many times credit cards will have a 3% foreign transaction fee. You do not have that here. There is going to be a bonus offer when you get the card after you use it for the first time. You are going to get usually an Amazon gift card of whatever amount the current offer is. Now there is an Amazon Rewards Visa. If you are not a Prime member, that is a no annual fee card also that gives you 3% back on those Amazon purchases, and most other things with the card are the same. Probably if you are a Prime member, this is a card that is going to very much make you feel like it's maybe the best all-around credit card, or at least the best for Amazon. If you don't have a Prime membership, maybe a little less so. Number 9, the US Bank Altitude Go, no annual fee. This card gives you 4 points per dollar or 4% back on your restaurant purchases, which includes takeout and delivery. You're getting 2% back or 2 points per dollar on gas and electric vehicle purchases, 2% on grocery store purchases, 2% on streaming, 1% everywhere else. There also is a $15 per year streaming credit when you use the card to pay for a streaming service. So you're getting the 2% and you're going to get that credit there. You have a bonus opportunity on this card that as I'm making this video, you could fairly easily get a $200 bonus with the card, no foreign transaction fees. So overall, a pretty nice card all around. Number 8, the Navy Federal Credit Union More Rewards American Express card, no annual fee. You're going to get 3 points per dollar or 3% cash back at restaurants, at gas stations, on transit purchases, on grocery store purchases, 1% or 1 point per dollar everywhere else. There's a bonus opportunity on the card for new card holders. It has no foreign transaction fees. This is a card that I might actually push higher up the list if it wasn't from Navy Federal Credit Union, and I say that only because not everyone qualifies to be a member of Navy Federal Credit Union, so you have to be part of it first before you can actually get the card. But if you are a member or you qualify to be a member, this is a pretty great all-around credit card. Number 7 is the Chase Freedom Unlimited, no annual fee. You're getting 3% cash back or 3 points per dollar in the Chase Ultimate Rewards program. Technically on your dining purchases, 3 points per dollar. On drugstore purchases, 5 points per dollar if you book travel through Chase's Ultimate Rewards portal. Then all other purchases get you 1.5 points per dollar or 1.5% if you redeem them for cash back, which you can do, or you can use your points within the Chase Ultimate Rewards program for other things. Oftentimes people will use them for travel rewards, especially in conjunction with one of Chase's travel cards, Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve. So on its own, this card is pretty good when combined with one of those travel cards. Even better, you generally are going to have a pretty generous bonus opportunity on this card as a new card holder. Now it does have a 3% foreign transaction fee, so in that way it is not a great thing. If you use it outside of the country, you're going to get charged an extra 3% on those purchases, but still overall a pretty decent all-around credit card. All right, now in the number 6 slot, I'm actually going to talk about 3 different credit cards, because what I am talking about here at number 6 is that for a lot of people, if you are looking for the best all-around credit card, you might be happy just to have a card that's going to give you 2% cash back on all of your purchases and not have to think about anything else with the card, whether you're getting more or less based on the type of purchase it is. So you might choose the Wells Fargo Active Cash card, which is going to give you 2% back on everything with no annual fee. That card card is also going to have a nice bonus opportunity for new card holders, which is part of the reason I mention it here versus other 2% cards on the market, and there are many others. Now, if you don't care as much about that bonus, or especially if you're a big spender on your cards, you might choose instead the PayPal Cashback MasterCard that is going to give you 2% cashback on all of your purchases, except it's going to give you 3% on your purchases that go through PayPal. So you might choose that instead, but that's not going to have a bonus opportunity, or at least in most cases for new card holders, you're not going to see one. You also could choose the Fidelity Rewards Visa if you are looking for a 2% cashback card. This one is going to give you 2% back on everything. It has no foreign transaction fees, where the other two do have foreign transaction fees. So even if it does not have a bonus, which as I make this video, I am not seeing one, you do have the fact that it's giving you the 2% and no foreign transaction fees. So it depends on what is important to you, but if you are looking for just a simple 2% flat cashback card, you could choose one of these. Counting down, number 5 on the list, the American Express Gold Card. Now this might be a divisive one, which is why I kind of put it in the middle here, because it has a $250 annual fee. So for some people, you might look at it and be like, okay, I can see where that makes sense. And for other people, you might be like, I'm not paying a $250 annual fee. So if you want to earn points in the American Express Membership Rewards Program, and you especially think you want to use them toward travel in that program, and you value those points highly, but you want to earn more points on your everyday purchases, this would be the card that you're probably willing to take a look at, especially if you can use the credits that are going to offset most of that annual fee. So this card gives you 4 points per dollar in the Membership Rewards Program. On your dining purchases worldwide, you're going to get 4 points per dollar on grocery store purchases at US supermarkets, 3 points per dollar on flights that you book either direct with the airlines or through AmexTravel.com, and then you're going to get 1 point per dollar on all of your other purchases. Now those two big credits to talk about, one of them is an up to $120 credit per year on purchases from certain food partners. So the biggest one probably is going to be Grubhub, because the way this up to $120 credit works is it's actually up to $10 per month. So if you use it every single month, you could reach that $120 credit. If you only use it occasionally, you're only going to get that $10 in a particular month, because it is use it or lose it. So if you use Grubhub a lot, maybe you're going to be able to hit that whole 120, and then you have some other partners there like Cheesecake Factory, certain Shake Shack locations, wine.com, and there's some others as well. So if you can use that credit, great. And then the other credit, maybe the one that's easier to use, is an up to $120 Uber credit, again, divided up per month, use it or lose it. So it's really an up to $10 per month Uber credit that you can use on either Uber rides or you can use for Uber Eats. So that one probably a little bit easier. The card has no foreign transaction fees. You're going to have a nice big bonus opportunity on this card, which is going to soften the blow of that annual fee, in particular in the first year. So you really kind of have to do some calculations in your head whether this makes it worth it for you. But if you really value those membership rewards points, this is probably the best choice if you want to earn a lot of points on your everyday purchases and use them toward those travel rewards. All right, we are on to the top 4, and even though I'm going to count them down 4, 3, 2, 1, I would tell you that really you could look at these cards, think about your own spending, and rearrange them based on what your spending is, because they all have strengths in certain areas that makes it harder to rank them across the board for everyone. But I did it anyway. So in 4th place is the Capital One Saver One card, no annual fee. You are going to get 3% cash back on dining, 3% back on entertainment purchases, which is something you don't see in too many other credit cards, 3% back at grocery stores, 3% back on most streaming services, 1% back everywhere else. This card is going to have a nice bonus opportunity. It's $200 as I make this video, not all that difficult to hit with the spend requirement that you're going to have there, no foreign transaction fees. So a really good overall all-around credit card from Capital One. Number 3 is the Wells Fargo Autograph Visa, no annual fee card that's going to give you 3% cash back or 3 points per dollar in a whole bunch of categories. So 3% back on dining purchases, 3% back on gas and 3% on transit, 3% back on cell phone services, 3% back on streaming services, 3% back on most of your travel purchases, and then 1% back on any other purchases with the card. You're going to have a bonus opportunity for new card holders where you can get an extra $200 fairly fairly easy with your initial spend. With the card, at least as I make this video, the card has no foreign transaction fees, so you're not going to get charged anything extra if you use it outside of the US. So a very nice sort of Swiss Army knife of a card, 3% all over the place with this one. Number 2 is the Blue Cash Everyday from American Express. No annual fee. You are going to get 3% cash back on your grocery store purchases, on up to $6,000 worth of grocery store purchases in the US. You're going to get 3% back on gas station purchases, again on up to $6,000 per year in gas station purchases. 3% back on online retail purchases on up to $6,000 per year in those. That is a category you don't see very often as a sort of enhanced reward category in many credit cards, so that is part of the reason that I definitely want to single it out in this video. And then you're going to get 1% back on all of your other purchases with the card. There is a bonus opportunity for new card holders. Now, the Blue Cash Everyday does have foreign transaction fees, which means it's going to charge you an extra 2.7% on purchases outside of the US, but overall some really nice rewards, and it's that online retail in particular that makes it a little different than other cards we've talked about. All right, and then the number 1 credit card, the best all around, is actually a tie, and that is between the 2 cards that are offered by AAA, which, if you're someone that doesn't pay much attention to the credit card market, that might surprise you. So there is the AAA Daily Advantage Visa, there is the AAA Travel Advantage Visa. The Daily Advantage Visa, no annual fee. You're getting 5% cash back on your grocery store purchases. You're getting 3% back on gas and electric vehicle charging, 3% on wholesale clubs, 3% on streaming services, 3% on pharmacy purchases, 3% at AAA. The card's got no foreign transaction fees. There is a modest bonus that you can earn as a new card holder, so a pretty great all-around package. Now, the AAA Travel Advantage Visa might be more to your liking. That is a card with no annual fee, and you're going to get 5% cash back on your gas or electric vehicle purchases, 3% back at grocery stores, 3% back at restaurants, 3% back on travel, and 3% at AAA, 1% everywhere else. No foreign transaction fees on that one either, and a modest bonus opportunity. Now, there are some caps on the spending on these enhanced categories with both of these cards, so check that out. But for most people, unless you're really a big spender, you're probably not going to hit those, and these cards are going to be really nice all-around credit cards. Now, in order to get them, you have to go through AAA, but you don't have to be a AAA member, and this might confuse you, but go to the AAA website and look for the financial products and look for the credit cards on the site, and you should see these cards. Now, in certain locations, AAA offers a different credit card, which really is confusing because all AAA clubs are actually their own club. They don't necessarily have to offer the same financial products. So if you don't see them on your local AAA, well, then try a different zip code. I know the East Coast ones, for the most part, seem to have the ones that I am talking about, and you will find them there. So I understand that's a little confusing, and it also almost pushed these cards further down the list because of it, but they're still both so strong that it is worth the trouble to jump through some hoops to find them. All right, so those are your top 10, and technically, if you think about it, there were actually 13 different cards that I talked about, but because I am so generous, I'm going to give you 10 more cards as a sort of honorable mention for the best all around, and I'm not going to give the details of these cards, but you can take a look at them if you want to and see if they might match your spending even better, or if you get crazy and you decide you want more than one credit card and not just one best all around, you might choose one of these as a complimentary card. So on the list we have the Apple Card, the Bank of America Customized Cash, the Bilt Rewards MasterCard, the Blue Cash Preferred Card from American Express, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, FNBO's Getaway Card, the PNC Cash Rewards, the Redstone Federal Credit Union Visa Signature Card, the US Bank Cash Plus, and finally, the Verizon Visa. Now, some people that really know the credit card game are going to say some of those cards in the honorable mention should have been in the top 10, and some of those in the top 10 should have been in the honorable mention, but I did have reasons behind them, and if you want to discuss it further, tell me about it in the comments section and I will give you my justifications. Or if you have any other comments or questions, put those in the comments section. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not leaving a comment or going to the website, there is a video that I think you're going to want to watch next, and it's right there.